disappoints. Ladies and gentlemen, for who doesn't know this car, I want to introduce you to my S14 race car. Race car, not drift car. Loads of people confuse this for a drift car only because I went involved in drifting. I used to sponsor a few drivers over the UK, over the Europe, and so everyone seeing this car is, oh, it's this nice drift car, all the stuff. No, don't offend her, please. This was time attack spec, chassis, suspension, all the stuff built to compete in a time attack and any sort of grip racing, not drifting. Now, yes, I've done some drift events. The car drifts very nicely once we change some of the suspension settings, but again, you can drift everything. This is not going to be a drift car, but it will drift beautifully. I got my MR2, which is probably, I don't know, standard was like 115 brakes. After all these years and after fitting bigger tires, probably got 30 brakes. I can drift that one on the wet, on the dry sometimes. So again, just because something can drift doesn't mean it's a drift car. Okay, I can drift my van. It's not a drift car, it's a camper van. Now, all right, stop, enough of this. This is a race car. Now, the story of this race car is that a very good friend of mine, he invited me to race with him in time attack because he's a very good race driver. He holds, I don't know if he still holds, a Silverstone lap record in his class, and we had a quick race together. I was on his ass with a heavier car, he was in a quicker car, so he was like, you know what, I think you have a potential because I used to race on the motorcycles, let's race together and let's build a team, all the stuff. So long story, another day, maybe with him behind the camera. That would be actually very nice because it's very interesting story and quite a long one. However, we've built the car for time attack spec. The roll cage is, let me turn the light on, is full T45, no more steel, TIG welded, completely extended. It's full race spec. Is extended to the, you see on the cross and on the back, that goes to the back subframe. Extended here, this bars here, this across here is extended. Also I had, if you can see, there are fittings here, one here and there's another one there. Sorry, there was another across going to the down subframe. And so you say, well, how is it possible? We got the engine here. Well, this engine was not always here. Originally, this engine was this chassis was designed with the original engine, which is SR20 DAT. It was running only 420 brakes, but again, it's racing. It's sometimes it's enough if you got a good chassis, depending what class you're running. The engine was exactly here. The first cylinder was here, and it was finishing small, short, light engine right in the middle. And you see this bar here, this was one piece, and there's another one here, flat, you see, and there was a steel tubular bumper made in T45 or chromoly, I can't even remember now, and there was a massive, Jesus, how can you call it? It's not a screw, it could be something different, like a diffuser, but diffuser usually on the back, like front diffuser. Interco was inside the diffuser, but the main reason of the diffuser, if I can call it this way, on the front, diffuser on the front could be. However, you know what I mean. It was generating loads of downforce. I had a very aggressive one on the back that was running nearly 15 degrees, which is kind of a limit. And then this one on the front, full flat floor. It was only prototype. It was all made in aluminium, so it was kind of heavy. I was supposed to tweak it and test it in a wind tunnel. And then if it was all running good, all sweet as I wanted, then I reproduce it from honeycomb panels or something like this. I don't know. We're supposed to sort that stuff out later, but we never get to that point, to be honest. However, the downforce on this car was absolutely beautiful. And I'm running different tires and wheels on the front, but I'm actually running Grumlights 10.5J all around 18s with 295s all around. Yes, I'm running 295 semi-slicks on the back and on the front. This was, I think back in the time when I built the car, there is a stamp, the TA Time Attack approved Toyo 888 Proxys. Now I know this, I think they switched to a different tires. it doesn't matter. Back in the day, that was it. And I had a lot of crap coming from people saying, "Oh, you can't run 295s on the front, it will handle a crap," and all that stuff. I said, well, it depends. It depends how you set the car up. And to be honest, it was great in the circuit and whatever. It was just good. Lots of braking force with the big brakes and all that stuff. Lots of traction on the back. Lots of just grip mid corner. Unbelievable. And because the engine and everything was in between the axles front and back, and there was no amplifying the weight which is hanging out from the outside the axles, obviously on the chassis. So it's great. I mean, it is great, but not with this engine. So that was stupid from me, removing that engine, because yeah, I do regret it. It was working just great with that engine. Then let me turn this light off because it's blinding me off. There you go. Oh, I can't see anything. Now, why of this engine? To be honest, this car had 3 different engines already. I'm not gonna go through all of them because it's boring. Eventually, I've decided to sell this car because I was not using it. I was very busy in a workshop, you know, building stuff, turbo systems for the race cars and all the stuff, sponsoring other people, and just generating a business, you know. And I was like, I'm not gonna race it, you know, it's just taking space in a workshop, collecting dust. I'll sell it. But because mid-engine cars are quite difficult to race in lots of races because of the regulations, not permitting to move the firewall or the bulkhead of the engine, so you can't put it in the middle. Not because you move the engine in the middle, because you move the firewall. Kind of bollocks, because you can make it very safe, you know, inspected. If it's safe, that's good, but that's what the regulation says. And so I decided to put the engine on the front, and because I had a spare engine, a full setup 606, Merc diesel 606 on a mechanical pump. I had the exhaust manifold twin screw built for the GT40, and the plenum was built, and the pump was done, and the gearbox was there. So you know what, it's all complete. I put it in, no need any ECUs, no need any electronics. I mean, to be honest, everything you control the engine with is this, is a throttle cable connected to the gasket pedal, and that's it. That's how you control it. So it was a kind of strange setup, but I kind of liked it, kind of like a Mad Max. It was a bit crazy because you know, you have full race spec chassis and you put the old school diesel engine. However, this is not your typical diesel engine. They rev to over 6,000 RPMs, producing way over 500 brakes and tons of torque. It's very responsive on a mechanical pump. It revs nearly like a bike engine. It's incredible. You will never say it from the outside, this is a diesel once it's running, because it actually doesn't smoke. It smokes just very little, just before the boost comes on. But for you guys who run modified petrol engines, you know, petrol engines, they smoke a little bit as well, just before the boost, because sometimes they overfuel a little bit and you got a bit of a black smoke puff. Not much. This is a little bit more, but nothing major, so you can really mistake it for a petrol engine, not diesel. And it sounds like an angry Supra, but soon you're gonna see, because I'm gonna put some videos in with this car in action. There's other stuff I have to finish on the car to be done. I don't have the brakes on the back, although I have big discs already. But all I have to do is just reassemble them, because I took it all apart, but the calipers, they're somewhere upstairs there with the lines and everything, so I just have to reassemble everything. This past 2 nights I've done a lot of stuff. I've fitted the drive shafts on the back, Skyline 33, because I'm bringing Skyline diff, because the original one is not strong enough. I have the full transmission now. I fitted the clutch lines. I have to bleed it, probably maybe tonight, if Steve gives me a hand, because I need 2 people to bleed the clutch. Well, it's easier. I also fitted my steering rack, fittings and all the stuff. I've plugged the pipes for the power steering. Obviously I have to put the fluid, I didn't put it on. Kind of a bulge here on this side, but this is the pipe was attached to the steering rack already, so it was like, you know what, just put it on. It's another customer's car, so I'm just trying to do it quick, reasonably reliable. It could be ugly for me, I don't care if it's ugly, as soon as it works. Oh yeah, AST suspensions, freeway, they're very good, race spec. And if any one of you in UK or in Europe needs, even over America probably, needs a good suspension, just give Curtis a shout at AST, and he's a good guy. I'm not sponsored by him or anything, don't take me wrong, I just know the guy is really nice and he's very helpful and he's very skilled with his suspension, so that's a good setup. Inside, let me show you just quickly. Oh, another thing, this car on the corner weights, without the tires, without the wheels, because I had on the stands, it weighs exactly 250 kilograms each corner, spot on. And it took me a very long time, a lot of work to keep that, to achieve the balance. Obviously not with that engine, because now we have probably, I don't know, 85-90% of weight at the front and nothing on the back. However, that was achieved. Everything is metal. Doors, roof, quarters, back, roof. This is glass. The only plastic bit is two windows here. One here, one on the other side, which already cracked. And but I had different doors. These are full doors. You see the glass inside. I had upstairs just a skin, but it's still metal, no fiberglass, no carbon. I fitted these ones in because this car was actually my wedding car. I don't know if you know this. So actually my missus said, look, you know what, just take the race car, but you have to put the windows on. And obviously in order to put the windows on, I had to put the original doors. So I bought a pair of original doors and I plugged everything in, including the electrics. And I have a control switches, which is there, original from the Silvia, close to my control panel to put them up and down, because obviously going on a wedding, let me just sit down here, going on a wedding and the race car with open windows, she will not be happy, I guess, with her hair and the dress and all the stuff, so we had to do it. However, yes, that's my control panel, everything. That was my ugly electrics. The battery is not there, obviously that was fitted in temporary, just to start this engine up and, you know, just to run it sometimes. Gearbox is in, brakes bias. I have to get my handbrake in, which I made with this V8 piston and two M3 Evo conrods. I had them lying around, I can't remember what from, to be honest, but there you go, they were there. Another thing which I'm quite happy with, the way it looks like, is my pedals, because these are V8 conrods and pistons from the 1UZ, which I had again lying around. Yeah, Mad Max, you know why. However, this is something I really have to address, because this is looking good but it's not working, because they just way too heavy. You see, they bounce back, they just don't return quick enough. They won't give you enough feedback. Oh, I have to turn it off again. They will not give you enough feedback. I like my pedals to be very sensitive to every movement. I drive with no shoes, just with my socks on, and that's not what I like, so they have to come off. I'm probably gonna keep the conrods because I'm not extremely heavy, remove the pistons and attach some kind of like a plates with the anti-slip padding or something. I don't know, I have to build something because this is just not great. This is my seat. I'm sitting very low. The pedal box is quite high, so you're sitting pretty much, your legs are pretty much the same level as yours. All the reservoirs, all the oils is inside there on the display. You just remove it and top it up if you need to. It's very quick, very simple. There's nothing underneath of the dash, because obviously this car now doesn't run any electronics. All I have is the glow plugs, warm me up, fuel pump, and the starter button to fire the engine up. I have to get the hub because I put this one on quickly, because I don't know what's wrong, what happened with the original one. I don't know what it is. I've lost it. I use it for something else. I do not know, but I need one obviously to fit the steering wheel. And I think that's pretty much it, roughly. I mean, there's so much into this car, but it will be here for hours and hours. This video will be boring, and so yesterday I've tried to bleed the clutch with Steve, and it was no success. Complete disaster, to be honest. Let me just put the car in there and show you. because remember back in the day when I put it on, it was a pain in the ass to bleed that system. I can't remember exactly why, but I remember there was a problem. Now obviously we can't bleed it, we remove the bleeder and nothing coming out. It's not building pressure up. Tried everything, spent too much time on it already last night. By that time I probably had the gearbox off and checked the sleeve cylinder if I knew there was something wrong. Well, I kind of knew it, I just forgot about it. This is way too long ago. So, yeah. So yeah, you see that bleeder out, it's completely out. This is the nipple, that should be there. But even if you can remove it, there's nothing there, it's probably blocked or something, and makes obviously the bleeding nearly impossible. Try to bleed it from the fitting, from there you can see all oily again still, but no chance. To be honest, I'm okay to removing the gearbox. It's all dirty, it's been in 2 different cars, the whole engine and gearbox, so it's, you know, it's good to remove it, give it a nice and clean, put a new sleeve cylinder. However, I got the feeling this engine will not be here in this car for long. I don't know, I don't want to think about it, I don't want to plan anything, because plan changes like every day, so it's way too ahead to say anything, but it's just a feeling behind my head, you know. We'll see, we'll see. So yeah, now we have to get the gearbox off, check which clutch sleeve cylinder is inside, because I can't remember what car model was from, and when I order it, obviously they ask me which one do you want. I say I'm not really sure, so let's take it off first, check the part number, see what it is, and order it tomorrow morning. Happy days. This is, can't even remember where this transmission came from. This is either the C250 Mac or 270 CDI. 270 is supposed to be a stronger one. I don't know if this is the one. I think this is the slightly, you can tell from the code probably. This is the weakest one, the 250 I reckon. And to be honest, everyone says, oh, they're not strong enough, they're weak behind the om606, which produces too much torque, which, yeah, fair enough. Could be. However, this transmission was inside my Jeep, in this engine, on 37-inch tires. And I was giving me some boost. It's like she was running just over 3 bar peak and then dropping down just below 3, like 2.9, 2.8. And transmission stayed. I mean, you got a lot of grip on 4-wheel drive 37-inch tires. So, I don't know. Everyone says they go bang, everyone says they're weak, they're not strong enough, but you know, I gave it some credit and it stays there. I'm not seeing this transmission to be put under huge stress in comparison to my Jeep with the 37-inch tires, which is huge, because this one is going to have less grip probably. But You know what, I don't know. We'll see. If it blows, we know the limits. If it blows after, I don't know, 10, 20 events, then fair play, you know? I don't know. We'll see. However, this is the little fucker that gives me problems. So what happens, this is the oil feed, which you can see goes completely sideways. You feed the oil to this bastard, and then you bleed it from this bottom here, which is kind of strange because usually you bleed everything from the top point, the highest point, which I get this probably goes to the top point but then goes down. However, there was nothing coming out of this, and now I remember I had one of these, a spare one, and like my usual, I didn't remember what I had it for, and I threw it away just recently when I tidied up the workshop. It was lots of mess. It's like off, what's this? I don't need that, off. And there you go, 2 weeks after years and years sitting there, I need it. So this is the bastard. Guess what? If you order one on eBay, it's about 48 quid. Because I had it now, look, replacement, that's lower quality. Well, I don't know if it's lower quality or not. I can't question that because I don't know yet. But it's all plastic. It's kind of, it's alright, you know, I would prefer. It's a bit slightly different, but everything seems to match. And the part number is match as a replacement. You can see it's a little bit different, but it should work anyway. Let's try it on. It's all plastic instead of aluminium, which means, could mean something, could mean nothing. However, eBay, 48 quid or 50 quid, same as this, aluminium. This, 117 to me. Oh well. Why? Because I couldn't wait till Monday, Tuesday, because the weekend is now tomorrow. Today is Friday, and I need it for the weekend because I only can work on this car on the weekends and nights. So this is pretty big, well, one of the biggest jobs I have to do, because then I have to test all the rest of the stuff, because I made a prop shaft. Prop shaft is a bit on the on the easy stuff, so my vibrate, so that's why I need a clutch and test everything else. So yeah, pay the extra just to have it now instead of Monday. Oh well, this is how it works. Let's do it. Let's see if this little fella fits. Right. Everything seems to align. Seems right. That hole there. This one. This one. This one is a bit off, but it can be moved. One hand is a bit sketchy, but yeah, it seems to. Well, I don't know. Does it? Yeah. Now it fits. Should we do it again? Now it looks like, well, it feels good. You know what, let's turn it up again. Power down. Now I don't have the alternator hooked up yet, So this battery, every time I started, obviously I warm the glow plugs and then start the motor. So every time I drain this battery, and God knows how long she's been there, so I'm expecting sooner or later this will not start again. Hopefully this is not the moment, and she will still start. So there you go, here's in. I think that's enough. It never disappoints. Alright, so clutch in, first gear like this, second. Alright, so first gear, let's have a look on the back tires. Off, on, and it's very sensitive as well. This is the ratio. Look, I'm not even touching the throttle, right? Let's do it in a second. Finally! She's alive! Me turn off because I have no cooling. Fuel pump off. Oh, smells. Oh, smells good. Burning rubber. Now, bear in mind, this is not a full burnout because obviously the car is jack on the ramp. This is the lowest the ramp can go, but the back tires, they're just touching on the floor. There's not much pressure. You can see the car tries to move forward, but it doesn't, because obviously it stays on the ramp legs, and you know, there's not enough pressure on the tires, obviously on the floor, so you wouldn't push it off. But however, it was moving, it was like shaking the car, so this is great. Second gear, leave the throttle, and just the engine, you can hear, just lowers the RPMs, goes under load, but I don't have to even touch the throttle. I remember when this car was in Steve's, when this engine, sorry, was in Steve's LX7, I could drive the car off in 6th gear, never touching the throttle, just gently releasing the clutch. It was incredible how torquey these engines are. And well, there's a lot of incredible things about these engines. That's why one of them is in. So we got the clutch. So it turns out the sleeve cylinder on the clutch and the gearbox was faulty, so I've changed it today for the good one, brand new, and I think I'm more happy to change it for the new one instead of fixing the old one, because you know, you don't want any problems after, you know, especially when you abuse this stuff. So this is sorted. I'm thinking next now, tomorrow, I'm off today. I may actually find all my bits on my calipers and all the bits and lines and get everything ready for tomorrow, and tomorrow I'm gonna hook up the rear brakes, and I think the handbrake is already plugged in, and we just have to drill the holes and put it in, because this is, the piston is already bolted on, so this already works. I just have to free it a little bit because it's a bit stiff. You can see it's like you push it, but it's a bit stiff. I don't know if it's a pin on there. Maybe I should just grease the pin. I don't know, the pin moves inside the piston instead of moving inside the con rod, but I'm just gonna put some WD-40 on it. I mean, it's been stood there for years, so, and yeah. So tomorrow we're gonna have the rear brakes, front brakes, because front brakes are already there, and the handbrake as well. We have the clutch, we have the bias, we have the gears, and then obviously we have to clean it inside. I'm probably gonna employ my daughter again for the 15th time, and yeah, tidy up of the electrics, get the battery in place in the tray and strap it down, maybe try to fit a new radiator, see what we have to do, and then yeah, next weekend this is probably gonna be back on the road. Happy days then. You know what, let's start it again. Let's do it again, just for the sake of why not. Low focus again, if she's gonna start. That's enough. Absolutely beautiful. You can tell how much condensation was inside that turbo. It's actually speeding up. And the white smoke, don't worry about that. When the diesel is cold and you got a lot of fuel from the mechanical pump, that's normal. Once it's nice and hot, it clears. There's no more white smoke, it's gonna be black. That's unburned diesel. Now, power is off. And yeah, I think we're good to go home today. I'll see you soon.